So, sir, I want to ask this first question. This is where we're going to start. We are two together. You don't have anything. Yeah, people your preaching. Why?
The design. When I started learning how to preach, my pastor is not the campsite. So all of us we plan to preach like him. So we will preach, we will talk very fast, we will gesticulate with our hands. So I was doing like that too, right? It's just that it just wasn't feeling. He wasn't feeling me, you know. So the day I saw that video, Pastor Adeyemi preaching and standing on one spot and preaching a whole sermon, I said, I think I like this one. I like this one. So you can get results without jumping and shouting. Let me try this other side. When I tried the calm one, I just found that was me, and everything worked smoothly from there. So calmness is working.
Too much. You know, you make, sir, I'm here to open my mind to you. Firstly, you can see me on news because of lockdown. I'm looking like a big hero. Some are calling me Elisha for Bawole. So I don't care. Call me whatever. I'm the voice in the Keja, saying that this is what is happening. That's it, sir. Can you see? You can't go out.
Makes you look handsome. Handsome.
Sir, I've missed you personally. I have missed you. I miss you. I miss how we hug, shake hands. You understand? Something even happened in Lagos recently. Well, after the partial lockdown in Lagos, before you want to enter the car, go say, no, that's not what they say. No smart, things are happening. A lot is going on. And sir, this is where I'm starting my interview from. Are you there? Can you hear me?
I'm there. Your picture was freezing, but I can hear you now.
Can you see me, sir? Can you still see me?
I can see you.
Yes, sir. It's the network. Don't mind us, sir. It's the network. You know how it's easy. We are just going to use this 5G last. You get my point. There is no wish. Because now, don't go there. Don't go there. Omodu is sending his greeting to you. Omodu is sending his greeting.
JJ.
JJ sending his greeting. Ashiri sending his greeting as well.
Love you, JJ. Ashiri, God bless you.
So
I love you guys. Love you.
Oh, thank you. So, sir, there is a major pandemic. Some of us have been at home for almost 2 months now. A major shock on the creative industry, not only in Nigeria, all over the globe. So it's a lot. So this is my first question, sir. What advice, what word do you have for people at this time, especially business people, especially people in the creative, people that have not, our job is with people, like we crack jokes, we do MC and a lot of that. What advice do you have for at this time? It's really overwhelming. I won't lie to you. I know some of my friends that ordinarily won't ask me for money before, now they're asking for money. It's serious. Even me, they're asking from God. So there's a shame now. The thing is getting really serious. So what can you tell us, sir?
Well, the first thing I'll say to everybody is anyone that has been used to confronting problems will realize life already prepared us for this. Anybody that was used to running away from problems, they will find this very overwhelming.
True.
Anybody that was used to confronting problems only for a little while, and then camping, so finding a very safe place to stay, even though there was greater potential, the mountain was higher, we could have climbed higher with more effort, but we like to find where it is convenient. We stay there. They will also find this a bit overwhelming. But especially since you spoke about business people, entrepreneurs, I would like to remind them and everybody who has learned not to run away from their mountains, but to confront them, that this is just another problem. And problems for all are actually opportunities. Problems that you don't win victories without battles. So those of us that have accepted life the way it is, have accepted the fact that there will always be problems in this world. Always. The day you don't have any problem again in this world has disappeared. There will always be problems in this world. Now, if you ask billionaires, you will find out that they make their money where you have the biggest problems in this world. So, what people run away from is what they run towards. This thing will pass. The beautiful thing is that it is not new. It has happened before. So the historians are giving us the dates. It happens at an average of 100 years apart. The last one was 1918 to 1920. This is 2020. Okay? So, global population there was about 1.5 billion. We are 7 billion plus now. They say between 50 to 100 million people died then. Presently, with the way we are going now, we will have far less because of advances in science and technology. So, even though one death is too many, the death of one person is too many. Okay, so I'm just saying we have greater capacity now. We will overcome it. It will pass. Okay. I've been telling people what Jack Ma said, the Chinese billionaire that owns Alibaba. He said, if you're a business person, just walk towards surviving 2020. He said, if you survive 2020, you made profit already. Okay. So I would say now, while doing that, we need to support one another now more than ever before. Sincerely speaking, we need to support one another more than ever before. Just help people to go through. The instinct for survival is the strongest in man. So people tend not to think correctly anymore. Once there is hunger and they don't know how to go about it, you don't want a human being to go down to that level. None of us should allow that to happen to anybody. At least food people need to have to eat. So please, let's help one another out. I believe people are learning lessons now because some of us have learned to live life like things are going to be stable over a long period of time. If life is not like that, that's why we get taken by surprise. Life is not like that. So we have to keep living as if things are going to change. So that once there's a small sign, at the first small sign of change, we pick it and we start running. But for now, let's hold on. The thing will pass. This phase will pass. And let's stay safe. Because some people are living risky life. I don't understand why they said, oh, you can go out a little bit. And some people just run outside and they are rubbing bodies with everybody. As if they have spare life at home. And we're dealing with something that does not have medicine or have a cure yet. So please, everybody should stay safe until this thing passes.
You see, when you talk, who am I not to have my notepad? I am a student in your class. No, so
Okay.
you pastor of my church, because you are a rebel, Reverend Dr. Woli, the prophetic. I'm there. I've been at TLC as condition. Some yes,
Right.
people are dropping this
I'm
down.
very proud of you.
Excited that you're here to help me trash it out deeply. And why is this next question means a lot to me and to a lot of people. And why? Because I'm more in the entertainment space, and we see a lot of things. I see a lot of things. And this is the question I want to ask. How can we measure true success? And I will explain it deeper. Right.
Okay.
Because I'm in a place where flashiness is what is in and now a success.
Yeah.
Is it by the cars? Is it by the houses? So now we cannot really determine real success. So that's what I'm asking. Is it by the cars? Is it the houses? Some people now think, success is by our followership based on social media. You have 5.5 million followership, you are successful. So and so many information on Twitter, on IG, a lot of things from celebrities. So we cannot even define. Some people might be successful and still depressed. I don't really have all of this yet. So what are the measures of the success?
Thank you. Very good question. Oh, very good question. When I began to study success, it was when things were very difficult for me. After graduation, trying to get a job, unable to get a job, trying, frustrated, tried to travel out of Nigeria, everything collapsed, all that. And I began to think, is there a system, is there a way to achieve success? Now, sincerely speaking, for a long time, that success for me was to live a comfortable life because I had suffered enough. Have your own house, have some nice cars, have some money in the account, have a beautiful wife and children. So, but as I began to study success further, I remember when I read a book titled Success by Glenn Bland. The guy wrote the names of 9 people that had been very powerful before in the US. The head of the gas company, head of this, head of bank, all of that. And how all 9 of them ended their lives in misery. Some of them were in prison just some years down the line. In prison, the one that committed suicide and all of that. What is this? So when one has been deprived of something, you tend to overvalue that thing. Yes. If you have been deprived of money, you tend to overvalue money. If you have been deprived, let's say even of a child, you tend to overvalue. You've been deprived of a job, you tend to overvalue. To you, it looks like if you could just get that thing, all your problems will be solved. And that's one of our major challenges, I would say, in our part of the world, in Africa, in Nigeria. So we tend to overvalue money. Once I have the money, I have the houses, I will be happy, and I will live happily ever after. What they don't know is that success comes with a fresh set of problems. Fresh set. So I will use the illustration that Jesus used one day in Luke chapter 12. The man, you look into the dictionary, they say the definition of success: to achieve your aim, to achieve your goal, okay, to turn out as expected. Fine. So Jesus told the story of this man in Luke 12 from verse 16, who set goals. He was a farmer, and the man, Jesus said, planted crops this particular year, and his ground brought forth in abundance. Beyond his expectations. The man said, what am I going to do now? I will pull down my warehouses. I will build new ones. I will store all my crops. He said, then I will say to my soul, relax. Eat, drink, and be merry. Happy, enjoy now. Jesus said that God spoke from heaven and told him, you are a fool. Tonight, your soul will be required from you. You will report in heaven. So who will own all those things that you used all your life to build up and to acquire? So that shifted my thinking. If success is the achievement of goals, I must confess though, the first time I read that story in the Bible, that parable, I was angry. I was angry at Jesus because here is somebody praying and aspiring to break through, and Jesus just finished to break through like that. And said the man was a fool. So I was praying and asking God, what did the man do wrong? What did he do wrong? He had ambition. Is that wrong? Do you hate for somebody to be successful? The Holy Spirit said, I should read it again. I read it. I said, I cannot see anything that he did wrong. He said, read it again. I cannot be wrong. I read it. He said, read it slowly. I said, okay. So it took me several times of reading before I noticed that there was no mention of God in everything the man said. No mention of God. So I realized that was where the problem was. If you say success is the achievement of goals, who sets the goals? Before each person was born into this world, God designed each person's life. So at the end of the day, you can set fantastic goals for yourself. But if the person that designed your life says, look, what you did was good, but it was not the right thing, it was not the correct thing, what do you want to say? So the measure of success, so the challenge with us is that we keep looking at the environment, at society to define success for us. And social media has made it even tough. And I think that's the challenge with your industry specifically, because you guys are major influencers, you have loads of people following you. Celebrities, especially for the younger generation, celebrities are the role models now. Now, it will take a smart person to know that on social media, it is our best that we put there. It is Photoshop. Okay, who wants to put their problems out there? Who wants to put their challenges out there? Okay, so the ideals that we're aspiring to are not realistic. We're now having ideals that are not realistic. So, so my encouragement to everybody is, success is not just achieving your goals. Success is finding out why you were even born, why you were released on this planet, and achieving God's goals. You will be amazed that you may not have as much as your neighbor has, but you can be happier. You can be more fulfilled. I believe that fulfillment is what everybody is looking for, but they cannot define it. But when you experience it, you know it. It is fulfillment we're looking for. There is no guarantee. Yes, we need to have basic needs met. Okay? We need to have basic needs met, but there is nothing on this planet that can give lasting fulfillment like that. It is alignment with God's plan for our lives that gives the fulfillment. And some people, like Jesus Christ, though, found that fulfillment in laying down his life to die. That's remarkable. By our own definition today, Jesus Christ would be a massive failure. Hanging on the cross was supposed to be a powerful person that came to save the whole world, and he died a very cheap death, hanging between two robbers.
Yes, sir. If this was a rap competition or a rap show, you call it that you're dropping bar. This is what you're saying is not bar. So bars is based on the female. I know you said something powerful, and it's very a lot in my heart. And I can just summarize it that, you see, success is aligned with God's purpose for your life. That's it. That's based on what you said. God, you know, it's not defined by material things. It's not defined by the houses you have, by the clothes you have. Just align. Like for me, for example, my alignment is to make people happy. That's it.
Right.
Put smiles on people's faces. Put smiles on people's faces. Your own.
And you're doing it.
Oh,
We're enjoying.
oh, no.
I'm enjoying you. So you notice something, right? That
Yes.
at the end of the day, I was teaching people how to succeed, how to set goals, how to achieve them. I now found out at some point that at the highest level of success, it is not measured by what you acquire. It is actually measured by what you give. It is measured by service to other people. That's how I got into leadership. I tell people, so when we talk about God's goals for your life, so I tell people, God's purpose for your life is not you. Your life is too small to be the purpose of your life. Can you imagine all these massive gifts that God gave you to make people happy, that you now focus only on making only yourself happy? The rest of us, we won't hear you, we won't hear anything from you. At the end of the day, you will be miserable. So the only thing is service. Yes, and meeting other people's needs with what God gave you.
Like you met my needs, is this kind of ship academy? Like you met my needs, it's okay, the leadership conference. Like you met my needs, like 30 days, hi! When we get to heaven, we visit each other something.
That's right.
I'm not just excited today. Millions of people are getting this. You can't imagine the reach where this is getting to. People are tweeting about it all over the world. This is the globe. And people's lives are changing. 3 seconds. People's lives are changing. Sir, I'm going to the next question. Because, why coming? A lot of things. You coming is personal to me first and to my followers. Because sir, there are a lot of informations around. We live in a world where you see information everywhere. On Twitter, somebody can just tweet randomly. You don't know whether it's wise or foolish. Somebody will just post on IT. You don't know, So we have different information leaking. I want you to let me throw light on this. Some people believe, sir, that God is only interested in people like pastor, prophet, teachers. That God is not interested in creatives, like comedians, like musicians, like artists, like a fashion designer, like the person that cooks food. When we talk about God, it's just that, if you are not preaching, if you are not prophesying, if you are not... So, sir, I want you to help me throw light more on God's interest in the creative. God's interest in that woman cooking food by the roadside. The role of God in our life in those fields.
You're asking good questions.
That's very sweet. Thank you.
See, to answer that question, I will apologize first on the behalf of us pastors. You see, that impression is prevalent because we're doing Old Testament ministry in New Testament season. In the Old Testament, yes, they anointed the king, anointed the prophet, anointed the high priest, and those were the, servants of God. And then you had the tribes, the Levites. In the New Testament, Acts chapter 2, Peter said, this is what Joel said, though, Acts 2, 16 and 17. I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh. All flesh, So, we pastors will say, look, don't talk to me like that. The Bible said, touch not my anointed. See, apart from the fact that that passage was talking about the whole of Israel, in the New Testament, all of us are anointed. That's the truth. All of us are anointed. That is why temple ministry could not suffice for New Testament. Could not suffice. That's why ministry exploded in people's houses. Because the temple, the church building is too small to contain all of us. So you read Ephesians chapter 4, verses 11 and 12. It says that God gave some to the apostles, to the pastors, evangelists, prophets, teachers. And then in verse 12 it explains what for. Yes, we were all reading King James Version of the Bible before, and it mentioned three things. For the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. It said for the perfecting of the saints, for the work of the ministry, for the edifying of the body of Christ. So we thought it is those of us, apostles, prophets, evangelists, that should perfect the saints, that should do the work of the ministry. So in the New King James Version and more recent translations, the first comma is removed because it was the translators that introduced the punctuation mark. And it changed the whole meaning. So now it is to perfect or to equip the saints for the work of the ministry. So it's not only those of us that hold microphones that do ministry work now. Every Christian is a minister. Once you define it like that, right, this idea that the pastoral office is superior to every other office, what every other person is doing is inferior, that thing just died. So these days, when people say, what is the church doing? What is the church saying? I realize in the first place, their definition of church is wrong. Because their definition of church is the organization. But church is all of us. So the church is in government. The church is in the entertainment industry. Church is in the business world. We are there already. The big question is, are we living like Christ? If we do, Christ in the entertainment industry, Christ in the one of the major things that will characterize us is creativity. Deuteronomy 28 verse 13. Moses told God's people, God will make you the head and not the tail. And I tell people, the head, where the head goes, that's where the whole body goes. Tail. And that the thinking happens in the head. Creativity, innovation happens in the head. Tail is not involved in the discussion. They drag it anywhere. If you don't think, they will drag you about. So, creativity is of God. Innovation is of God. The entertainment industry is very important to God. What does the entertainment industry do? It tells stories. Tells stories through the movies, tells stories through music, tells stories through comedy. Go and check Jesus Christ. Why is it that people don't rush us to hear our messages the way they were rushing Jesus? They said Jesus did not say anything to the crowd without a story, without an illustration. The gospel is about storytelling. So I said to our CEO in Daystar some weeks ago, I said, if it was left to me, our drama units will minister 3 weekends, me I will do preaching only once. He said, wow. I said, yes. Stories do the job better than digging deep revelation. Stories connect with people at a subconscious level and shift their values. I see you guys in the entertainment industry as ministers.
Thank you.
So I want to encourage you, unleash your creativity, your God-given creativity. The important thing, though, is we've got to communicate powerful values.
Yes, sir. The Yoruba will say, for those that don't understand Yoruba language, apologies, they'll say, Omono. What does Omono mean? Fire. You see? Sir, I know my time with you. I know you're very busy person. I know. But the time of IG is 1 hour. Because so I'm looking at my time. My time is 5:55. It goes. So please, sir. Just after that 1 hour, just permit me a few more minutes. Because people's lives are about to really change. The way the gospel is getting to, there's no block. You said it, you are the church. Some people are here on Twitter. This message is getting to Twitter already. So no one is here. A lot of people are here. They are tweeting about it. Actually, here as well. You said a lot. We are ministers. Ministers on Twitter, ministers on Instagram, making people communicating like value. Mo mọ̀yàn, mo ti mọ rẹ̀ bó, mo mọ dókítà. Ayé tó wá. Well, now this next question also, because I thought this thing quite true, and I must be honest with you, before bringing here, I will pray and pray. That is, that my tongue is with Holy Spirit. So it's not, my friends cannot carry this question, you know that. You know that there's a spirit in man, the vision of the Most High. You get understanding. I'm not wise. Please, I drop out. Sir, let me just say this one. People graduate from school. I did not go and those that graduate. People that graduate are people that finish with first class. Actually graduated first class. Right. Two one graduate. There are second category of people that finish from school. Those are people that do 2-2. Hold on, 2-2. Sir, I did not graduate, sir. I did not finish. The school finished me. The school finished me. I was 4, 5. To get my point. Yes. Yes. You know that this is only thing. Right. I've seen you build 2 powerful structures. Until now, it gives me. You are the lead pastor of Daystar Christian Center. That is a structure as a church. I decide that I attend, and I'm glad I'm part of that. Yeah. Now, you intentionally now build another structure called Adeyemi. That is another structure. So there's this Christian Center that runs. There is Adeyemi that consults, that is a leader, that does Adeyemi GLC and all of that. This is my question that it baffles me for now. How are you able to balance those 2 sides? Being the senior pastor of this Christian Center, that aside. And I've noticed you are not a man of title. That's it. A man's value is not in his title, it's in his name. When we mention Adeyemi name, Adarani. When we mention this Christian Center, Adarani, how are you able to tell that?
Well, candidly, if I'm very honest, I'll just say grace. You get vision in your heart and you give it your best. So it just so happens that I got stuck somewhere early 1994. And I was praying and fasting, just asking God, what's the next level? How do I move forward? And in the answer that I got, there were 2 organizations straight. I was going to teach people how to succeed on the media, and I was also going to set up a church. When I started Success Power first, 25 years ago, February 1995. Went on radio, began to teach people how to succeed, non-religious, And that one, it was just boom, like that. Then later in the year, we started the church. But as the 2 of them began to grow, then it became a struggle. Because I then suddenly realized each of them was going to be a global organization. So I had to now pray again, how should I structure it? Because sometimes multi-talented people have a challenge. They don't know which one to do first, what to start with. So I have to pray about it. And what I got was that I should step down Success Power, just keep it on one radio station and face the church. That the time would come later to switch. So I faced the church grew, humongous system. But God gave us the wisdom to build systems and structures, and to train people that will do the job. So I delegate massively. And when the time came, some 6-7 years ago, I just knew it's time to build the other part. So I went to school to do my doctoral program in leadership, and then started experimenting, started learning and experimenting. Last year, then I went online, started webinars and so on. How would I have even known? So we had been doing experiments, and then by the time this pandemic came, the Success Power just exploded. Adeyemi GLC we started some 18 months ago, and that's my consultancy for high-level leaders. What do you do? Time management, ability to prioritize, ability to look at all the things you need to do and to decide this is the most important, this is the most important. I don't have more than 24 hours. Everybody has 24 hours. But once I do the most important things, I'll be fulfilled. Then I delegate massively. I can't afford to be stingy or selfish, so I have to teach people everything I know. People told me that I was taking terrible risks, that people will hurt me, like they're on the church side, they say, they will just break your church apart and take your members away. It's okay. But I just realized I could not fulfill my dream without empowering people. So I empowered them, I trust them. All the money in the church account now, our staff can carry them away because other people are also signatories to the account. So, but I found out interestingly that God's principles don't fail. People, when Jesus says love, when God says love people, sometimes our environment teaching makes you to feel like if you love people that you are being stupid, like you are being a momo. But it's not like that. There's a way a human being is wired that makes human beings to respond to love. So I found out instead of people hurting me, what I have gotten is fierce loyalty. Such that even when people have left our organizations, they're still tracking back to help me succeed. They're still giving me ideas. My consulting thing, when I organize an event, whether it's in Nigeria, the US, or Dubai, sincerely speaking, I have proteges that show up. Some of them buy their own tickets. They show up from everywhere, from Nigeria, from Canada, to help me organize from start to finish with excellence. And they tell me, so I say, what should I pay you? They say, you paid us up front. You've done your payments. We have to help you succeed. So the leadership, the management skills are important. The leadership part is also very important.
Papa, please, I beseech you, because don't leave here, because this is not concluded. You will release our, you are the Oro, you are going to release what is attested. Everyone connected, they are not leaving, the numbers are increasing, Twitter is going like God, because I will take it up on our, I need to save this video and post it. Revo, my G.
You know, I usually don't extend, but okay, I'll give some minutes.
Cassie! Daddy wants to give some minutes. I love you, sir. The media is giving some minutes. I love you. Yeah.
So thank you for celebrating my day, bro.
Mommy. That's another day. Now, Dad, this is the last one. Then you pray for us and I release you. Yes. This is the last one. And this is about on what you said the other time. I have a strong belief that every one of us lead at every level in life. So amidst my friends, I lead. At the office, I lead. Because when we talk about leadership, straight, your mind goes to a governor. Your mind goes to a president. Your mind goes to. So I believe there is a level of leadership at every level. Like as a friend, you lead. In an industry, you lead. Now, what are the characters of true leadership? What are the things that I will have that will make me say, yes, I'm a leader as my smart skill?
Thank you. Good question. You rightly said it. Up until now, our definition of leadership has been tied to position. You know, people that occupy positions. So, in the church, the leader is the pastor. At home, the leader is the daddy. At work, the leader is the CEO. But we've checked out the definition of leadership now. It is ability to influence one or more people to achieve a worthwhile goal. So I say, when you bring it down to that ability to influence somebody to achieve a goal, I say, if you remember when you were a child and you persuaded your friends to go with you to buy sweets, that was leadership. You influence your friend to achieve a goal. Leadership happens at all levels. Leadership happens at all levels. So followership itself is leadership. We've been wondering, so in Nigeria, that's why we get excited when we're approaching the elections, you know. So just before the last elections, I was asking people, since 1999, we have been voting in Nigeria. This is going to be the 6th time. Who election help? We've been changing people. Situation has not changed. We need to find the solution elsewhere. And it's simply because, and then people get surprised at sometimes the kind of leaders that we elect. I found an answer to it during my postgraduate programs on leadership. They call it prototypicality. Sorry for the big grammar. Prototypicality. That Gio, Pastor Adeyemi, he used layman's language and his illustration to explain it for me one day when we met on the flight. He said, if you have a group of armed robbers that want to elect a leader, will they elect a policeman? Because me, I asked him, what is happening in Nigeria? What is the church supposed to do? You know, he said, let me give you a question. If the group of armed robbers wants to elect a leader, will they elect a policeman? I said, no. Will they elect a policeman? I said, no. They will elect an armed robber like themselves that is more sophisticated, more experienced in armed robbery. So prototypicality says, the principle says, people will choose the person that best approximates to the ideal member of that group. The person that looks like them, but that is ideal, that is the role model. So I say, when you look at the people we elect, you will see us there. It is us, that's how we are. Right? So, to be a good leader, you need character and you need competence. The character part, your qualities. A leader needs to be honest. A leader must have integrity. When a leader is not truthful or honest, the leader will be a hypocrite. It means that the leader will tell people to do one thing and the leader will do something else. You know what you will have? You will just have hypocrisy run from top to bottom in the system. There will be no truth. Have you noticed in Nigeria we're finding it very difficult to conduct census? We don't have an accurate measure. We don't have accurate figures for how many we are because we're not truthful. When it comes to election, we know truth. Registration, we register small babies, we register ghosts, we register everything. Okay? You cannot build anything stable on falsehood. So to be a good leader, and remember now, leader is not only being the president or governor. To be a leader, even at your own level, as a student, at your own level, in your house, in your community, on your street, you need to be an honest person. So in our system, when you are honest, because the collective character of a society is the culture of the society. That's why culture is then powerful. So you find out then in the environment, if you have an environment where falsehood, people are not honest, generally. If you try to be honest, you'll see they will shout you down. If they have power, they will use it to hurt you because you're trying to spoil business for them. So, honesty, love. If a leader does not love people genuinely, that leader will fail. It is guaranteed. You must genuinely care for people because leadership is about serving people. Responsibility is another big one. No? Responsibility. The person that says, since it is our problem, it is my problem. I will do everything I can to resolve it. That's the leader. It's okay for you to have a piece of paper on the floor and for people to be going by because they were not the ones that put it there. But the leader is the one that will do something about it. Yes, the leader is the one that will do something about the problem. Okay? A leader is selfless. So a leader focuses more on other people than on self. So when you see someone that wants to succeed at the expense of other people, sincerely speaking, that person is your failure. As far as leadership is concerned, you can achieve individual success, which I see we have a lot of that in the environment, individual success. But when you now have a problem like COVID-19, that is not a personal problem, but that is attacking everybody together, then our weaknesses will not show up. There is no infrastructure to face it. No health infrastructure because everybody was busy taking the billions and keeping it in their own account. Okay? So that's the character side. Then you have the competence side. It's not enough for you to be a good man. You need to know the job. Leadership is a skill. If you want to board a taxi, let's say from Lagos to Ibadan, then you see the driver, and they tell you the man is a very good man. He is a very honest man. But he doesn't know how to drive. Will you board the vehicle? No, sir. The competence side is very important. I was discussing with Donald Duke, my good friend, former governor of Cross River State one day. We met on the flight. So I said to him, you did some things that I really liked when you were governor. at least I saw that you had vision, which is another very important quality of a leader. Vision. Leader must be able to see people and things and places, not just the way they are, but the way they could be. It's one of the things that frustrates me the most about leadership in Nigeria. Frustrates me big time. I want to hear someone talking about what the country will look like in 10 years' time, in 20 years' time. Once you take vision out of a leader, there's nothing left. Nothing left. Vision is the heart of leadership. So I was telling him some of the things he did and demonstrated vision. So I said to him, but a lot of your colleagues in politics are not competent. They don't even have vision. He said, Sam, Nigeria is like an aircraft that is being flown by pilots that did not go to flying school. And when they crash the plane, everybody will now be shouting. That description was so apt. When you go on an aircraft and the pilot will say, ladies and gentlemen, welcome on board flight NG 1104, this is going to be an exciting flight. It will take us also time. Well, I should just let you guys know, I never went to flying school, but when I pray, and this sleep just comes on me, my flights are usually fantastic. So sit back, tighten your seatbelt, enjoy your flight. So I ask people, will you stay inside the plane? Not that one. We will burn that plane because I must come down. We're not going anywhere. Don't burn, kill me. So, the competence side, the skills. The leader must have management skills. The leader has got to have leadership skills. Okay, and the leadership skills include having vision, not only having vision, having capacity to communicate it. You can have fantastic ideas. If you cannot successfully transfer them into other people's minds, nobody is following you anywhere. You'll be surprised. They'll fight your ideas. You've got to have delegation skills. Okay, you've got to have people skills. Know how to get the best out of people and get them raving mad to achieve the goals or the vision that you want to achieve. So this is what I will say now. As I'm describing that, I know it's easy to see the fault in people occupying leadership positions around us. But the question I'm going to ask everybody is, you as a person. So, are you leading well? Do you have character? If you lie to yourself, there's no way you won't lie to other people. So you keep your own promises. Okay, that's where it starts from. Are you using your own scenario as challenges? I agree, for example, that Nigeria, that Africa is not ideal. I know we're spread all over the world. Some of us are in Asia, even America, the United States of America, Europe, South America. Good. Your country is not ideal. Your scenario is not ideal. Yes, we're right in the middle of a pandemic. The big question is, so how are you responding to the scenario? Are you complaining? Are you feeling like a victim? Or are you developing the power of vision in your imagination? Okay, creating possibilities in your imagination. That's the starting point. If you can't do it for yourself, how will you do it for other people? Not talk of your own nation if you become president. So, are you leading yourself well? For a start. Okay? Are you cutting corners? If you're an employee right now, are you cheating on your boss? If there's no way, I'm telling you, what we do when we're small is what we're going to do when we're big, period. So I want to challenge the younger generation right now. We need to write a new story. We've got to create a new future. And this is our own chance, this is our opportunity. See, change will happen. Whether you like it or not, whether you pray for it or not, change will happen. Are you preparing for that change? Let's develop the character. Let's develop the skill. Buy a book on leadership. If you hear there's a seminar somewhere, attend it on leadership, on management. Prepare yourself to handle big things. If possible, do entrepreneurship, do business on your own. You know why? Because it gives you freedom. If you have to depend on someone for survival, it's very difficult to change that person. If you have to depend on a system for survival, it's very difficult to change that system. So, if you can do entrepreneurship, fantastic, and you are global in your thinking, and especially if you can leverage the internet, then your space will be global. With that, your environment won't be able to limit you too much. And then let's prepare, because in the next few years ahead, I see phenomenal opportunities for us to provide the highest level of leadership we have ever seen from our